Now for the top story night reaction, joining us from Washington, Republican strategist Kate Obenshain, and Democrat Kirsten Powers, also a Fox News analyst. So where am I going wrong here, Powers?
Well, the problem isn't how he delivered it or a lack of passion. The problem is the policy, and it's a bad policy, which is why most Americans don't support it. So, yes, he certainly made the best case I guess you can make for a really bad policy, but he didn't say anything, I think, that would move the needle because it's fundamentally a bad idea to be bombing Syria.
Okay, but he did move the needle in the
Not
polls,
really.
in the snap poll.
No,
it was up. It was up more
look,
than
when you
it
got
was
60% of people
poll.
saying it's not in our national interest, when you have, less than 50%, 47% basically saying they don't think he made a case for a military strike, I don't consider that really moving the needle in a serious way.
But it was better than before the speech. What do you say, Kate?
Well, I think 60% of people agreeing with the president's vision. What are they agreeing with? I think they were agreeing with his conclusion about not doing anything, delaying. As
that's what I said.
That's
what they were agreeing with.
Right. So it didn't shift anything. The American people already didn't want to go to war, and so they were basically saying, well, we avoided that. But, Bill, I thought the speech was, frankly, an embarrassment for the president, an embarrassment to the world. This is a president who spent the entire speech contradicting himself, saying what a huge threat this is, but we're not really going to do anything. What a huge threat Syria is and how we need to protect our allies. But really, Syria is not a threat to the United States or Israel. They're fine.
All right, it's a nuanced argument that he's making, but you both know what this fundamental argument is.
I don't think he knows what his fundamental argument is.
I disagree. I think the president knows what the fundamental argument is, that if you let this go unpunished, then it will be more common in the future. And
so wouldn't he go and punish them?
Wait, let me articulate the argument, Kate, that if you let this go unpunished, then more people will do it throughout the world. And it will be easier to have weapons, chemical, biological, even nuclear, which is what Iran is working on. It'll be easier for those people to traffic in them and to use them. That is the fundamental.
It's a completely flawed argument.
That is the fundamental argument. What was that, Powers?
It's a flawed argument. Look, Saddam Hussein.
Flat. What does that mean?
Saddam Hussein used chemical weapons in the late 80s.
Right, and nobody really knew that he was gassing the Kurds, and when he used them against Iran, it was in a war capacity.
The point is he wasn't punished for it. And it didn't lead to chemical weapons being used all the time.
So if one tyrant isn't punished, that means another one shouldn't be?
The point is, it's not about whether or not he should be punished. Of course, we want Assad to be punished for it. The question is whether or not it's going to actually do anything. And my point is, you're making this positive case that if you punish them, then they won't, and you can't prove that. And in fact,
you can't prove anything.
Is to the contrary. No, but the evidence is actually to the contrary of the argument that you're making.
No, it's not. Both are speculative arguments. Both are speculative. If you hit them, it might not deter.
It's not speculative. Mine is not speculative.
Of course it is. You're saying it might not.
There's a historical fact that Saddam used them, and he wasn't punished, and it did not lead to the horror show that you just painted.
I just think that's so intellectually dishonest. It has nothing to do with Sadaam Hussein. Now, Kate.
Yes,
you basically have two speculative arguments. One, if you hit him, it might not do any good for anybody. That's speculative because it might inhibit. And the other that I make is if you don't hit them, then other people might do this with an easier campaign. That's speculative too. But based on history, whenever you appease and turn the other way, it comes back to haunt you in a larger arena, Kate.
Right,
you say,
Bill, I 100% agree with you that we should not be appeasing, we should not be turning a blind eye. What I believe is that you didn't point out the third option, and that is that a strike right now, without having laid the groundwork, without knowing what's going to happen, then you've got an empowerment of forces that hate the United States of America, and I'm talking about the Al-Qaeda and Muslim Brotherhood forces, which have been proven to be in existence and a part, I don't know how much of a part, but they are a large part of the fighting force of the rebels in Syria. You do not want to create a situation worse than the one that there is now. I'm not saying we should do nothing.
There are a lot of speculative reasons not to take action.
That's not speculation.
Sure it is. You don't know what the unintended consequences of punishing Assad.
But we do know that these other forces exist and that what they want to do is attack the United States of America.
Okay.
So it's a dangerous situation. That's all that I'm saying. And it should be thought through.
Of course it's dangerous.
It hasn't been thought through, though, Bill. It should have been thought through before Barack Obama laid down that red line.
And that's the crux of the matter.
What his strategy would be.
That's the crux of the matter. The
so
American
it's created this huge problem.
Wait. The crux of the matter is the American people do not have confidence in their commander-in-chief that he knows what he's doing. That's it. Ladies, thank you. Next on the